Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out the iFlight-RC XL5 lowrider frame here. This is like a very slammed down frame, 15mm standoffs. They sent me the 5.5-inch arms. I think that's what this is here. I believe you've seen the 5-inch arms in the pre-built model in a previous video that had all the components already installed. This is just the frame kit. And then they also sell the 7-inch arms as well, which are these here. So we'll see what that looks like as well. So basically, I'll build a 5.5-inch frame, then we'll get some measurements, and I'll build I'll swap out the 7-inch arms and see what that looks like. I believe if you just want to get the 7-inch version, they do sell it as an XL7 frame kit, so you can just get that, buy that one. I'll put a link in the description to that one as well, and that will come with the 7-inch arms and not the 5.5-inch arms. So as you can see here, I've laid out all of the parts, arms. You got the bottom plate, and you got your supporting sandwich plates. You got a top plate here, and you got these two little side camera plates. You can see how tall the stack is going to be. It's going to be really tiny, and these are the standoffs here, only 15mm. You get all the screws and get some press fit nuts here for securing the arms. Now all of the carbon here is pretty typical of the iFlight frames. Cut properly, so these arms are going to be very stiff, and the processing is very nice. Everything is clean, there's no carbon dust. All of the arms are chamfered. You can see that the edges are beveled, so you're not going to be cutting yourself against the edge of the arms on this frame here, so kudos for that. Alright, let's get some measurements here. I think these are 4mm arms. Actually, sorry, they're 5mm arms. The width of the arm is 12mm, so it is probably enough for a skinny ESC, but I'm not sure any of the bigger ESCs might not fit on this. Top plate comes in at 2mm. Bottom plate is also 2mm. And the sandwich plate is also 2mm. Okay, so I'll go ahead and quickly assemble this, and we'll take a look at what it looks like, and we'll get some measurements, motor distance, and also front to back. Okay, so here it is fully assembled, and wasn't too difficult to put together. I wish there was a little bit more space on the top plate for maybe a bigger battery, especially if you're going to go to the 7-inch arms. We'll see that here in a second. Obviously you got slots here for your battery straps for your top mounted battery, but if you want to go with a bottom mounted battery option, you could do that too. The bottom plate has slots for a battery strap. You could potentially put one on the bottom. You have holes for a 20x20 stack and or 30x30 stack. And a little concerning here regarding the design is you have this press fit nut here and a screw that goes through the sandwich plate and the arm and the bottom plate, and then the other screw that's used for support is going here and then goes into this nylon standoff that mounts the flight controller stack, and obviously you could do that or the 20x20. And you know, I don't think there's too much play in here. All of the arms are butted up against each other. You can see, it's kind of hard to see, but basically all the arms are butted up against each other, so they don't rotate. But in a really hard crash, that nylon standoff is going to take a lot of force. Probably will get stripped out. I'm not sure if that means the frame will fall apart or not, but you can kind of feel it wiggling around a little bit there if you try and bend it downwards on the arm like this. But obviously this is not probably going to be used as a racing rig, more like a freestyle rig, so hard to know how the crashes will affect this. There's a longer screw that's included in the kit, so what you might want to do instead of using the nylon standoff is use a longer screw, then use the like a lock nut, like an M3 lock nut, to offer a little extra security in holding that arm there, and then you can put the flight controller stack on top of that using some, say, like some rubber O-rings or something like that, but those aren't included in the kit. I think that would have been better in terms of securing the arm there instead of just that nylon standoff. As you can see here, the standoff is very low. It's a 15mm standoff, and the camera plate here on the side is meant for a full-size camera, but you can't really fit one in here because the cutout in the bottom is such that it's narrower. So they do offer these little adapters here for the micro cameras, for the 19x19 size cameras, for your like micro Swift or whatever. That's probably better anyway, and you can fit it in there. And I think probably a GoPro mount or something will go over here, something like that. There's a lot of holes for mounting other stuff. Obviously for this super low stack here, slam stack here, you're gonna have to use like one of the all-in-one flight controller PDBs. So this got the flight controller plus the PDB, and then you're gonna have to put your ESCs on the arms, and that will probably work. And then you can put your receiver maybe in front of the flight controller, and or behind here, along with your video transmitter in the back. That's probably how I would do it. And there's plenty of little holes and stuff, cutouts for using a zip tie to secure stuff, so shouldn't be too big of an issue. They do have, there should be enough space there as long as you use one of those single boards, because that's you're only going to get one board in there. I don't think you're going to get two, so yeah, that's probably the most you'll be able to do. Okay, we get some measurements here. The motor to motor distance is 252 millimeters. The side to side distance is about 177 millimeters. And the front to back distance is also about 178 millimeters. Okay, the weight of the frame here is coming in at 112.7 grams. So go ahead and I'll swap out the arms for the 7-inch arms, and we'll do the same measurements. Okay, so here it is with the longer arms, and here are the 5.5-inch arms. You can see it's quite a bit shorter. So obviously you can use the much bigger 7-inch prop. So now with the bigger arms, the motor to motor distance is pretty much going to the end of my ruler here. It goes to 300 millimeters. The front to back distance is about 212 millimeters. And the side to side distance is also about 212 millimeters. And the weight with the 7-inch arms now is 122.9, so about 11 grams heavier for a much bigger arm. So this is pretty light for a 7-inch setup, I believe, although I've never flown a 7-inch setup personally. Anyway, it's going to do it for this frame review of the XL5 XL7. Obviously, very different ways you can configure this frame if you want to go bigger. Obviously, for perhaps for long range or cruising around. I'm not sure how much freestyle would go in this. It'd be interesting to see if someone would freestyle a 7-inch frame, but I'm sure someone has or someone will. But it's a pretty nice looking frame, nice carbon, pretty lightweight. Went together pretty easily. Construction wise, it's going to be pretty easy. In terms of assembly, you're going to need very specific parts. Obviously, a single board here and ECs on the arms to build it. But other than that, not a whole lot of restrictions. I'm not sure if I'm going to build this or not. If you guys are interested in a 7-inch build, let me know in the comments below. And also, if you have any part suggestions of what you would like to see, I'll take those into consideration if I do decide to build one. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.